Hey guys, welcome to CINEFIX Now. Today we are talking about the Emmys. I know we're a movie channel, but there's some cinematic television out there that I think we definitely need to pay attention to. We're here with our friend Jessica from Wonderwall, and she was actually at the Emmys last night. So we're excited to talk about some of our favorite parts.
All right, Jessica, before we start, I did not watch the Emmys. Just tell me that Breaking Bad won everything.
Sadly, they did not win everything, but they won some pretty big ones, which was pretty exciting.
Okay, so they won something.
They did, yes, and of course, the biggest of them all being Best Drama Series.
Right.
It's their first time winning as a show, so it's super exciting for fans. They're
Well
eligible next year as well, so people weren't really sure how that was going to come into the mix, but definitely a big night for Breaking Bad.
I did not see this coming. I thought this was going to be a House of Cards.
Think they'll win again next year?
I think it's possible. Yeah, I mean, there's been so much buzz around this final season, or the final half of the final season, I guess.
Right.
It's entirely possible. It's been pretty crazy.
So wait, you were at the show last night.
I was at the show.
What was the vibe?
Take your pants off. Take your pants off. And twerk it.
Yeah. The vibe was good. It was
Yeah.
definitely a more kind of laid back Emmys.
That's what I felt like, yeah.
There weren't as many big Hollywood stars, as many big movie stars this year, with the exception being, Michael Douglas and Matt Damon were there, of course, for Liberace. But overall, it was a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people that we all know and love and have come into contact with over the course of years. So there wasn't as much kind of big star tension this year.
What was your favorite part?
Well, I'm a huge Anna Gunn fan. I think she's really great on Breaking Bad. I know not everyone is necessarily a huge fan of Skylar.
Me, the almost 40-year-old pregnant woman with a surprise baby on the way.
So I'm definitely maybe in the minority on that one, but it was really great to see her recognized for her work on the show and to take home the Best Supporting Actress in a Drama trophy.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
Yeah, that was a big moment for me personally.
So part of Wonderwall, you were on the red carpet. So what do you do with that for Wonderwall? What does that mean?
Right, so we kind of are in the middle of the red carpet mix. We shoot an on-camera segment, so we're grabbing stars as they come by, and actually it was a really great night. Sometimes it can be really difficult to get the stars to stop on a night like the Emmys, but yeah, it was just a different vibe this year. It was a little bit more easygoing. Even, stars that can be difficult to track down on the red carpet, like Aaron Paul, for example, was still in a great mood. He's, stopped to give us an over-the-shoulder response.
Aaron, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Everything. Just hanging out with this one.
It's nice to see that he's still level-headed in spite of, all the success that he's had on the show.
And obviously, Mackenzie and I know, but tell the people out there, how do people see your interviews and stuff from the red carpet?
Right, well, you can just head over to wonderwall.com and check out our video there. It's on the homepage, or you can check out the video tab, and it'll come out there. It also is on msn.com. So.
Awesome.
What was one of your biggest surprises?
I was pretty upset that Bryan Cranston didn't win. I'm sorry to be
Seriously,
harping on Breaking Bad here, but
But Jeff Daniels won that one.
yeah, but I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Didn't expect this. I usually don't win anything.
Mackenzie saw it coming.
I saw it coming. Okay, I'm the only person who still watches the newsroom. Literally, I watched the season finale on Saturday. I'm not going to give anything away, but I was at my parents' house by myself at like 12 o'clock on Saturday, sitting there like sobbing like this. I can't even, Aaron Sorkin's incredible. He just creates the most well-rounded characters. And I think Jeff Daniels did an incredible job. And again, if anybody still watches that show, I think they would agree with that. He definitely deserved the award. And I was definitely surprised by it. I thought that Kevin Spacey was going to win for House of Cards.
It's all going according to my plan.
Which was, bittersweet, because I definitely think that Jeff Daniels was great, but House of Cards kind of got knocked off the list this time. I thought it was going to be a sweep of everything House of Cards.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like, did House of Cards come out too early? You know what I mean? It seems like, or is that a factor? Do you think?
The buzz may have been a little bit early.
Yeah.
And also I've heard so much that his character is just so unlikable that it's kind of, it almost works to their side. Whereas, that's hard to say when you're comparing him against Don Draper, Walter White, who are both not necessarily likable characters either. But
that's right. There's a lot of anti-heroes on all of these shows. You think about that, Don Draper and Kevin Spacey's character, all these guys are kind of despicable in their own kind of great way.
But then you also like grow to love them at the same time.
Sure, yeah.
It was definitely a stacked year, I think, in that category in particular. That one was pretty big.
So in the newsroom, I haven't watched the show. I plan on binge watching it now. But so is his character the anti-hero, or is he like someone you really root for? Or what's his...
You root for him. He's brooding. He's miserable. He's very, self-aware and wants like his career to go well. But you root for him because the underlying message of the whole thing is that these people believe as news reporters they are like helping the world and they're purposely reporting some things a certain way or leaving out that story or whatever it is because they are shaping public perception of what's happening in the world. So they really take themselves seriously as journalists. And that's my favorite part of the show is that obviously it's media has that much power. But for me, I don't know, the House of Cards thing still like I don't know if it's maybe not mainstream media. Maybe there's something to do with the fact that it's on Netflix, which kind of got completely, everything on Netflix didn't really appear at all in the Emmys. Right. So I'm thinking that maybe there is some sort of, in the votership of people saying, we're not going to vote for something that's not on our mainstream outlet.
You think there's a conspiracy against Netflix?
Potentially.
Maybe John Doe will explore that in conspiracy cinema.
Who blew my cover? How did you recognize me? I was undercover. You coward!
I think, just non-traditional media. It's interesting to see. It's interesting that was even included because this is the first time that something off of a non-traditional television outlet has been included in the Emmys. So I'm just shocked that it didn't win.
Emmy voters do have a tradition of being a little bit more conservative. It took them a while to kind of warm up to some of these darker shows like Breaking Bad or look at Game of Thrones, which, with the exception of Peter Dinklage, didn't win anything this year. Well, didn't in the past he'd won, but this year, nothing. And they have a huge fan following as well and lots of critical acclaim, so who knows?
It's kind of crazy because it seems like, I've watched, Breaking Bad and House of Cards, and obviously I need to catch up on the newsroom, but there's so much good TV out there. It's insane.
This past year, in my opinion, it's been one of the greatest in television history, truly, and it's all thanks to everyone in this room. Well, think about it. There's something for everyone. For every Walter White, there's an Orange is the New Black.
What's your take on that?
Well, I have to admit, I also am a huge sci-fi fan, so it's hard for me because my DVR is so filled with ridiculous series like True Blood and Dexter and Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf sometimes. So on top of all that fine television, you have to squeeze in these heavy, serious dramas, and sometimes when you're home at the end of the day, you want to just watch some teenage vampires making out or something. So it's hard. You really have to commit. And watching Breaking Bad, I've been binging lately, and it takes a lot out of you to watch some of those shows. You kind of have to choose which one you're going to focus on at a time. Like, you can't be carrying around like a Mad Men and a Breaking Bad and a Newsroom and a Homeland all on you at once. You start, it gets to you sometimes if you're a TV addict, anyways.
I think one of my favorite parts was Merritt Weaver, her acceptance speech.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much. I gotta go. Bye.
I love her character. She plays Zoe on Nurse Jackie, and I love that show. It's really one to check out. But it's kind of underrated. I don't think that people talk about that one as much. Apparently, I'm all underrated shows is what I'm interested in. But she, that character, I really think deserved the award because she kind of is this voice of reason, but also the comic relief for the show. And I think she does an amazing job. Definitely check out her acceptance speech. It's hilarious.
It was such a fun, natural moment. And to come so early in the show, you just see this person realize that she had no idea that was coming. Just absolutely no expectation of winning that award. And then to see them freeze to that extent, it's so endearing, and most people have never heard of her before. Even on the red carpet, there were a lot of reporters who didn't recognize her, weren't sure who she was. She's still an up and coming star in a lot of ways. So it's it's nice that those types of people get rewarded too.
Yeah.
So in the end, it seems like this was not a predictable night at
no.
the Emmys.
Absolutely not. No, I think this is probably the most surprising Emmys yet.
Unfortunately, Helen Mirren and Maggie Smith dropped out at the last second, and they called me literally 45 minutes ago.
Wow.
At least from my perspective, I've been watching the show, following them, covering them for last 7-8 years, somewhere in there, and I've never done so horribly on my office pool before, to put things into perspective.
This just in, no one in America is winning their Emmy office pool.
I think I got 5 categories right.
Wow.
So it was definitely very shocking. I think I have to say I was a little bit disappointed to see Claire Danes win again.
Always.
Because that was a little bit boring.
But she's
but in
so
that
good.
surprising
I mean, she really deserves
she
it.
really
She's really
is.
that talented. You like love to hate her because it's like, okay, yeah, you were great. I watched the season again, and like with season 2, like you always like think that the show is not going to be as good. Like for example, Girls didn't win any awards. I didn't think that season 2 lived up to season 1, where it won so much last year.
Going underground, so I'm going to lose you for a second, okay?
But season 2 of Homeland just really stood up for me, and I was actually really surprised by it.
I also have to say I was really excited about the love that was shown to Veep last night. I'm a huge Tony Hale fan, of course, from Arrested Development, and even though I haven't entirely gotten behind the Veep train, it's exciting to see him take home an Emmy. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus's acceptance speech was absolutely phenomenal. Tony Hale joined her on stage to hold her clutch, which, by the way, which starlet doesn't want a man to come up and just stand there and hold her pocketbook?
And then like fed her words the whole time.
I'd like to thank my family.
It was hilarious. It was definitely one of the
Yeah.
funniest moments, if not the funniest moment.
Jumped into character too. She was like, well,
Was she
thank
surprised?
you. No, I mean, it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was surprised. I think we were all sort of surprised, but she's won so many awards.
Once you've won once, I
Yeah.
think the shock level goes down a little bit. But it was also really surprising that after that much love was shown to Veep, that they then didn't take home the Emmy for Best Comedy Series.
Modern Family.
But Modern Family took it. I mean, it's year after year after year. That show, I don't know how it continues to be. I watch it religiously.
Great writing.
Well, this may be the saddest Emmys of all time, but we could not be happier.
Actually, a really funny moment is when the writer's saying, it's so great because none of us really felt like winners when we were growing up, and if you can kind of zoom your attention to Sofia Vergara in the back, like, winner? Like, I kind of feel like a winner. I like rewound and like watched that over and over again. It's hilarious.
Pretty sure Sofia Vergara has never felt like a loser in her life. Can you blame her?
I thought that part was awesome.
Yeah,
it's
so that
funny,
was
like
great.
no one's even really writing about that this morning. I was like, that's my favorite part of the whole show.
Was Sophia wearing the machete bra?
No. She was wearing a very low cut dress. She looked amazing.
She didn't need the machete bra last night, so
She was good.
knock him dead, I guess.
Awesome. So it sounds like you had a great time at the
Yeah,
Emmys.
it was great. It was a really fun night, and definitely head over to wonderworld.com to check out our video after you finish up at CINEFIX.
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me, you guys.
Comment below and let us know which parts of the Emmys 2013 were your favorite, which shows should have won, which shows shouldn't have, and subscribe to CINEFIX. See you next time.
Bye.